And as you just heard, it was Tim Southee who starred yesterday and today, claiming 5 wickets from the world's best Test team. He spoke to Alex Perrottet just after leaving the field.
It's always nice to win a Test match, and I think the way that we performed throughout the last 4 days has been tremendous. And as a bowling unit, I guess what you're after is to try and take 20 wickets to win a Test match, and for us to do that, it's a collective effort from all the bowlers.
And nothing's ever guaranteed in Test cricket, especially these days. It was a great first innings to keep India short, but how do you feel after basically doing exactly the same thing in the second innings and a day to spare?
Yeah, as I say, whenever you're playing against a quality side and you're able to beat them in the way that we have, it's always pleasing. I think it was a good effort from day one to bowl them out. Obviously, winning the toss was nice, and then to put the ball in the right areas for long enough and bowl them out reasonably cheaply in the first innings, and then our batters to go out and put a score on the board, and then to go out and back up what we did in the first innings over the last couple of days was very pleasing as well.
How do you feel personally, Tim? You're one of the veterans of the team, and obviously Australia wasn't, a bright spot of the summer. You were dropped for that last Test. Do you feel now, after this performance, somewhat exonerated?
No, I think we all know as individuals and as a side that we weren't anywhere near what we're capable of in Australia, but we can't let that affect what we've done in New Zealand over a long period of time. We've played some very good cricket in New Zealand for a number of years now. So although Australia was very disappointing, we couldn't dwell on it. We couldn't beat ourselves up too much, because then we'd lose focus of what we do as a group in New Zealand, and what we do as a group in New Zealand is pretty good. So it's about keeping the guys believing within the group and concentrating on what we do in these conditions.
A lot of what you were just talking about does rest on your shoulders. You're part of that kind of senior leadership group really in the team. What did you do? Tell us specifically, how did you react from Australia, and how have you managed, I guess, in terms not just form but attitude, in terms of turning it around so amazingly with this result?
Yeah, as I say, there's a lot of, I guess, within the group there's a lot of belief and I guess the confidence in each other's game that we are familiar with these conditions, and we do play good cricket in these conditions. And as I say, we can't beat ourselves up too much. And what happened in Australia, I'm sure the guys they're playing sport at the top level. They're always looking at ways to get better. They would have learned a lot from what happened in Australia. Sometimes you learn a lot from I guess tours like that, and then be able to come back and put in a performance like that just shows you the character of the group.
Yeah, and now one of the, I guess not really a criticism, but just an observation that's been made. I mean, in terms of just in recent years with the Black Caps, you've just seen so much success. You've been on top of the world even in the one-day format at the World Cup, and there's just been a consistency of form, and maybe one criticism is just at times the lack of depth. What happened in Australia wasn't just a lack of form; it was people getting sick and it was people getting injured, and then the results weren't in your favour. What we've seen here is new people come into the team and perform. I wanted to see whether you could give us your point of view on the performance of Kyle Jamieson and some of the key wickets that he took. He got Virat Kohli out. How do you feel about that young talent and what we can see as great depth now that the Black Caps are showing?
Yeah, he had a great debut. Not only the wickets he took, but the 40-odd runs were valuable as well to give us a nice lead. So I think he learned a lot. Talking to him, he learned a lot being around the group in Australia for those few weeks while he was over there, and feeling a bit more comfortable around the group, having played the one-dayers and been around the Test side in Australia. It kind of feels like he belongs, and again, I guess that's credit to the environment that we've got. Guys come in and they feel comfortable and they feel like they can feel at home and go out and perform and do what they do at domestic cricket. So it's very pleasing for him to come in. There would have been nerves around. To go out and play the way he did was outstanding, and shows you the type of character he is.
And you think he's made a point to be selected ahead of Saturday's Test at Hagley Oval?
I think we'll enjoy this one, and we'll see where Neil Wagner is. But you got the number 2 Test bowler in the world coming back, so it's good problems to have, and it's just great to have that depth around the bowlers.
And that's Tim Southee talking to Alex Perrottet.